Hello! This is another game of Age of Empires HD, part of the Arabia 16 tournament, and I believe I am broadcasting this live to the Age of Empires 2 HD Odds Clan Twitch site, so that should be pretty interesting. This is a game between a man who needs no introduction, TheViper, arguably one of the best players in AoE HD at the moment, and Zelfire, who I haven't heard anything about him, but I'm sure he's a half decent player, and hopefully we'll have some fun casting this. So it is a game between the Mongols and the Mayans, well, the Aztecs, whoops, my bad. But without further ado, I will start streaming this event. I'm just going to tap the Twitch and then we'll go. Yep, cool. Okay, everything looks like it's in working order. Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so things should be quite interesting. It is a 1v1 on a Green Arabia. So, Mongols, arguably the best civ for Green Arabia, competing with the Huns in their scout rush. Both have very fast and very good scout rushes. So it's quite an interesting civ pick there. It is fairly original though, because most people do just go Huns, but Mongols, great civ. Zelfire has chosen Mayans, well, Aztecs. Why do I keep on saying Mayans? Has chosen Aztecs, so that's going to be quite interesting. He's going for the boar straight off the bat. That's actually quite cool. He's really taking advantage of the free loom that Aztecs get, so that's quite interesting. Whether we see a drush or something, some similar kind of interesting signature Aztec tactic, that would be interesting. Sorry if I seem a little rattled. I've just come back from a driving lesson which I pretty much forgot I had until an hour ago, so yeah. Anyway, so Zelfire actually has the score lead. Well, the scores are very close, and Zelfire is doing really well to keep up with the Viper, so congratulations to him. I'm starting to think he might be a bit better than I thought, because I didn't want him to be one of those players. Like, there's a couple of players who have entered this tourney have been not particularly good at Age of Empires, and I don't mean to insult them, but that's just a kind of fact of the matter. So I didn't want this to be a game where we had the Viper just completely destroying his opponent. He hasn't taken wood yet, which is interesting. He's going straight for a second ball already. Wow. That's really interesting. Anyway, the Viper seems to be doing a standard build. His map is okay. He's got this really nice patch of gold toward the back. The only complaint I really have is that it is quite hard to saturate, most of it being within the trees. But if you plonk a town centre next to it, or even put a couple of lumber camps next to it, I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem in the late game. But yeah, it is in a very nice defensible location though. I mean, you can't really harass it unless you come through here, and if you just wall that off, then that's great. His map for walling isn't particularly good, but that's kind of good for the Viper, because I believe he doesn't really like, he's not a huge fan of walling, from what I know of him. I mean, he could wall off-ish, but no, there's no real way for him to wall off unless he walls off across here, and then across here, and across here, which wouldn't really do anything because his goals would still be out in the open. And Zelfire is going for the baller. Well, no, the ball steal. So this is really interesting. I don't know whether the Viper's noticed this. He must notice it. I mean, you don't just get balls running off randomly in the middle of a game. This is a really interesting game so far. I'm really glad I'm casting it. Yeah. So whether Zelfire is going to use this extra food he's got for a barracks well, if he does use it for something, that'll be really interesting. He hasn't really got the wood to put up a barracks, and if you are going for a drush, ideally he'd be putting it up in the next minute or so. or next 2 minutes or so. But anyway, everything seems to be going quite well for Zelfire and the Viper. And if Viper loses his scout, that would have just been a really bad start to the game. I mean, on top of losing his boar, he would have lost his scout, which just would have been a bad day for Viper. This is really good, really well played by Zelfire. I have to tip of the hat to him. He also, because he's Aztecs, his economy is going to be a little bit better than the Vipers at this point anyway. They do get their villagers do carry an extra 5 food. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Viper go and take deer, just to compensate for his lost boar, but whether he does or not, we have yet to see. Plus, he is Mongol, so he's... Yeah, no, I was just thinking, I kind of forgot that he was Mongol, so if he was Mongols, taking deer would be well worth it. I'm not sure what this kind of interaction is about, the oh come on kind of thing, but whatever it is about, I'm sure it was hilarious. But no, yeah, it would be well worth the Viper to take deer. I'm guessing he's going to go scouts in Feudal. That's the standard kind of Mongol tactic. Whether... Oh, one sec. Yeah, there's a forward barracks coming up by here. Whether Zelfire is actually going to go for a drush, or whether he's just going to get a couple of militia out, upgrade them to man-at-arms, and whilst he's in Feudal, is yet to be seen. Zelfire's eco is pretty decent, actually. Yeah, no, 21 pop. He's got a lot of food here. He's probably going to be able to advance soon. Yeah, I think he's got enough villagers, enough food on all of these villagers to advance. No, yeah, he's really pushing the Viper quite hard. The Viper has just gone up to Feudal, so he's gone up with a very fast Feudal time, actually. Just going up on around 8 minutes. So yeah, that's a really fast Feudal time. This could be very bad for Zelfire, although Zelfire is doing a huge wall-off by the looks of it. Yeah, no, I haven't actually said much about his map, but his map's actually very wallable, so good for Zelfire. Just a couple of palisades across here. Watch out for the wolf. Obviously finish off over there, and palisades across here, maybe an archer range or 2, and then across here as well. The thing is, is Zelfire going to do a bit of a fast castle? From the looks of it, he is. He hasn't gone up to Feudal yet, and he's about to have 25 villagers, so that's going to be quite interesting. Yeah, he's going for the wall-off. This is I'm not really sure whether I really agree about walling across here, although in all fairness he might be trying to get the hill advantage for his palisades, so that any units attacking it will be attacking it from the bottom, so they don't take it quite as much, and he is taking deer. So no, yeah, he's really going to be trying to push Viper quite hard. He has just advanced to the Feudal, well, clicked up to Feudal, so he's not going to be... We're not talking a ridiculously late Feudal time, but at the same time we're not talking about a bit ridiculously early Feudal time as well. From the looks of it, Viper has just killed off, well, I say just killed off Zelfire's eagle earlier, so that's quite interesting. There's the wolf I was talking about. Oh no. But yeah, no, things are looking pretty decent indeed. With this wall off, Zelfire can be a bit more... He doesn't have to be quite as cautious about his economy. Obviously he doesn't have to worry about his lumber camps being in the same place, just because they're not both going to be taken out by a tower if he walls, unless he misses out some part of the wall off or whatnot. But Stable is going up for the Viper. I am just going to check the stream just to see that everything's okay. Is everything okay? I can't actually see the chat. One sec, I might try. I am logged in. I don't know why I can't see the chat. That's weird. But anyway, yeah, carrying on. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, so mining camp going down by here. He still has 30 food on these villagers, so I'm not really sure why he is building the mining camp with them. If they do start to mine gold, they're just going to deposit all the... Yeah, they just lost all the food they were carrying, so that was a bit of a waste to take that deer, actually. And he has a huge gaping hole in his wall off, so I'm not really sure what he's doing. Are you going to finish this wall off? Archer range going down. Scouts are pouring out for the Viper. Houses going up. No, the Viper is playing really well, actually. This looks like it could be a really good game. So Wolf over there. Fully walled on, or almost fully walled on this tide. If the Viper gets in before... no, he's not going to get in before the war off is complete. But whether the Viper doesn't know about the war off, so that's really interesting. No, yeah, that's gonna. I'm wondering what the Viper's going to do. If he knew about the wall off, I presume he would try and get in there whilst it's still being walled off. 2 archery range gone up for Zelfire and a couple of spears, so he is going for the classic archer play with the Aztecs, one of the more popular ways of playing with the Aztecs. Zelfire has effectively got a quarter of the map just for himself to boom in. This is quite a weird play. I'm quite unused to it. There is one militia out over here, which hasn't done any damage from the looks of it. I think Zelfire is just using it as a scout. It has just been killed off, so that's going to further the Viper's score. I'm not sure what the Viper's doing with his scouts. Whether he suspects some sort of forward, because he saw the barracks come up quite far away from the town centre. It's not that far away, but it is fairly far away, so maybe he suspects some sort of forward. At the same time, he might just be regrouping his scouts, which is what it seems to be. But this wall-off is getting steadily larger, so he's got to get in there whilst he can. Let's take a peek at what is in Zelfire's archery ranges. Yeah, just a couple of archers queued up. He hasn't got a blacksmith from what I can tell. It's quite interesting if you look at Zelfire's map compared to the Viper's map. The Viper's map seems a lot more... seems to have a lot more going on in it, whilst Zelfire's map is a lot more spaced out, so that's interesting. Oh, poor Zelfire. He just accidentally left a hole in his wall. The Viper doesn't have any upgrades for his scouts yet. Can he kill off a villager? No, almost. So close and yet so far. Yeah, it's always weird walling off on hills, because often there are spaces between the buildings which you just can't see. The only way to really guarantee that your wall off is a wall off and not just a wall off that looks like a wall off is to actually check whether your villagers can pass through or whatnot. Yeah, the Viper does have to be careful around the spears, because obviously a couple of hits from a spear will spell death for a scout. Not too much happening at the moment. He has been house blocked, pop capped for quite some time now, so it's not looking too good. I think the Viper is just kind of being quite ballsy and killing off the spears here just because he can. He is microing quite well, making sure that the scouts don't get too much damage from each of the spear, and Zelfire has had to abandon his deer gathering, although he has quite a bit of food on him, so it's not too big of a deal. The thing is, he's completely unprotected over here now. He's got 6 archers, but 6 archers versus 5 scouts isn't going to do too much. One villager lost to Zelfire over there. I guess Zelfire is trying to use his villagers as a bit of a meat shield at the moment. At the same time, the scouts all have fairly low HP, so this could be really bad for the Viper if he loses all his scouts in one foul swoop. At the same time, the Viper has put up 2 archer rangers, so he is transferring into archers, so obviously he is thinking of going up to castle sooner rather than later. 37 population for the Viper and 38 for Zelfire, so we're fairly neck and neck at the moment. Zelfire has garrisoned all his weakened villagers just to heal them up. He's probably also putting off harassment around the town centre as well. The amount of idle time that Viper is getting on these villagers, though, is pretty big. He's killed off a second villager over there, so that's 2 villagers in Feudal isn't huge, but at the same time, you don't want to lose any villagers, obviously. Yeah, things are looking okay. The Viper does have a significant score lead at the moment, so that's probably due to military. Zelfire is starting to build up quite a force of archers, but I think Viper's military is better at the moment, plus the fact that Viper's micro is one of the best in the game. He doesn't really need to worry about being outnumbered by an opponent. And oh no, he's left his scouts on stand ground, and they just got 2 of them just got killed off. I do that all the time, so I feel you, brother. Anyway, 2 more spearmen have been pumped out by Zelfire after he lost his original 2 to the scouts over here. Lovely carcasses. From the looks of it, the Viper is starting to gather up archers. He'll probably want to gather a fair force of them just if he's going to go and harass Zelfire, because he knows that Zelfire does have more than him at the moment. Might be worthwhile putting in a couple of skirmishes. Zelfire's score has caught up quite significantly. That might just be from the scouts that Viper lost over here, or maybe I was about to suggest that the Viper's score might have dropped due to spending resources to go up to castle, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The Viper is making the best out of a bad situation here, saturating this gold as much as he can. I'm not sure whether he's got any of the eco upgrades. I would think he does. I vaguely remember Zero Empire saying that the Viper always tries to get a wheelbarrow as early on in the game as he can, because it is such a good upgrade. And once you have wheelbarrow, your economy really does start to improve. Both players are starting to mass up archers, well, quite a few archers. Zelfire obviously does have a significant advantage in numbers. Zelfire is trying to finish off his wall off, but unfortunately the Viper has spotted it. The Viper is bringing in his forces now to kind of try and stop the wall off going up. I'm not sure whether he killed a villager. Okay, there it is. Yeah, no, he hasn't killed any villagers yet, but he has got a lot of idle time, and successful harassment isn't always about killing villagers. If you kill, if you get enough idle time, it's just as worth it. Viper has just clicked up to castle, so let's see what Zelfire's eco is like. Zelfire almost has enough food to go up. He doesn't really have the gold eco for it at the moment. It might be worth putting up a market or something. I can't see a market anywhere, so he has got 3 archer rangers though, so we can tell that he is going for crossbows in castle. The Viper, on the other hand, has 2 archer rangers. He's also got a blacksmith, which Zelfire doesn't have. Yes, he does have that. Let's look at the upgrades of Zelfire, actually. So Zelfire does have fletching. He doesn't have the padded armor, but Viper doesn't have fletching. So at the moment, Zelfire has more archers than the Viper, and he's also got the tech up advantage, so that's quite big. At the same time, Zelfire's force is moving out whilst the Viper's main force is about to attack. This could be huge. If Zelfire's main army moves too far away and then doesn't come back in time, then this could really be GG for Zelfire. Obviously it depends on Zelfire's eco management and whatnot. I'm not really sure why the Viper is attacking the archer range. It would probably be more efficient just to go around here. A tower is coming up for Zelfire on his gold. He is putting it on, well, not on the top of the hill exactly, it's kind of towards the kind of incline. So that's obviously not optimally placed, but then he is under pressure from the Viper, so he has to make decisions quite fast. Now that archers of Zelfire are about to come in, and this could be pretty big. Zelfire has clicked up to castle. Let's just go to the Viper. Viper's about to hit castle though, so this isn't even though he's lost what probably around 5 villagers. Well, he's lost 3 villagers, 4 villagers, and now it's 5 villagers. So make that 6. Yep. He has lost a fair few villagers. If he was still in Feudal, that would still be a huge loss. The thing is, once you can get those extra town centers up, 6 villagers isn't that big. You can reproduce those in a couple of seconds. He is doing a clever wall off, being able to wall off this. The thing is, he's going to have to do it quite quickly before these archers kill off all the builders. This could go really bad. At the same time, the Viper does have the crossbow upgrade, and he is moving in for the kill. All he has to do is sit at the bottom of this tower and pick off those villagers, and that will be a huge blow to Zelfire. Crossbows are out for the Viper, so he does definitely have the tech advantage now. And knowing the Viper's micro, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some ridiculous micro and these 3 crossbows take out the whole of Zelfire's force. I'm really impressed with Zelfire though. Like, he's really gone toe to toe with the Viper, so impressive. That's something you can put on your CV. Just checking the stream. I still can't see the comments, which is really weird. I can see the video. Oh well. Unfortunately, Zelfire doesn't seem to be paying attention to his units, and he's put them on stand ground, so they're not attacking back, which is kind of annoying. Now these, they're just being. This is just target practice for the Viper's crossbowmen. As we speak, Zelfire has just advanced to the Feudal Age. This is quite funny. 3 scouts just being attacked by the skirmisher. That's what the stand ground stance will do. It looks like Zelfire has had to abandon his lumber over here. This is pretty bad in all fairness. Look at all the idle time on these villagers. The thing is, the scores are still fairly close, so it isn't game over by any means whatsoever. The Viper is further picking off Zelfire's archers, but the thing is, yeah, Zelfire has just lost so many archers whilst they were being upgraded that he's not able to make the full use of them. Viper hasn't put up any extra town centers yet. No extra town centers yet for the Viper. For Zelfire, no extra town centers either. You can tell they're both prioritising military over economy at the moment. The Viper has now built up quite a force of crossbowmen back at his base, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see those move out to Zelfire's base soon. And two scouts have just died over here. Oh, that was pretty bad. Anyway, Viper has forced Zelfire to abandon this half of his base, basically. So that's pretty awful. There is a bit of a scuffle going on around here, so well, Zelfire just lost quite a few crossbows. The Viper is starting to get a significant score lead. Zelfire does have quite a force of skirmishes though, so if we see the elite skirmisher upgrade, he could make something of that. Let's see. Yeah, elite skirmisher is being researched, so nothing is, well, the game is far from over. If the game ends in like 2 minutes, then I'm going to look like a giant cock for saying that. But anyway, the Viper did take out a whole archer range just using these 3 scouts, so that's pretty. I don't think Zelfire was really paying attention to these guys. There is a huge fight going down over here. The Viper is trying to make the most out of his crossbowmen by microing them as much as he can. The micro, I was about to say the micro's Viper is legendary, but no, the Viper's micro is legendary. So it is quite impressive to see what he can do. Viper has gone up with another town centre over here. I don't think he's gone up with another one yet. More crossbows are coming in for the Viper though, so the Viper isn't, Zelfire isn't out of the woods yet. Zelfire's been kept on his toes pretty much the whole game. I mean, he's just been forced to put up another archery range, so he's nowhere near going for that 3 town centre boom. He is still producing villagers though, although this one is idle. But no, he is in decent shape. The thing is, the longer Zelfire delays his second town centre, the more of an advantage the Viper is going to get because of his 2 town centers. His economy is going to be better. Eventually he'll just be able to keep on pumping out units. The Zelfire has claimed the top of the hill up here, so he is going to have the hill advantage when fighting Viper, although the Viper does seem to be luring him down, and there's a hill where Viper is, so now I wouldn't be surprised if Viper has the hill advantage. The scores are really close. This is quite a close game. Elite skirmishes are being produced by Zelfire, only at 1 range, but well. And Zelfire does have enough wood to put up a 2nd town centre, but because of that tower he put up earlier, he doesn't have the stone to put it up, so things aren't really looking in Zelfire's favour at the moment. That's something that you should always remember, is if you force your opponent to put up another defensive tower, maybe on his gold or his lumber or something, that's really good. I mean, obviously it means that it's going to be harder to harass his villagers, but it does mean he's not going to be able to go for the 3 town centre boom straight off the bat without collecting more stone. And even if he has collected more stone, then that's those villagers are collecting stone that could have been collecting extra gold or extra wood or extra food, something that could have gone into their military, whilst instead they're collecting stone, which doesn't really do much unless you're going to go for a castle drop or a huge boom. So yeah. Anyway, Zelfire has taken the score lead by 50 points. Well, I know I say 50 points. It's around 100 points now. No, 200. No, 150 points. Oh, I'm getting confused now. But yeah, it's around 200 points, which is quite impressive. I'm not sure where this score lead has come from. I don't know whether it's because he hadn't really scouted any extra since his initial scouting, so I'm guessing his must be pushing back Viper's forward harassment. The thing is, he is picking up a monastery, so is he going for monks or is he going to get relics? This is interesting. If he goes for a kind of very late monk push, that would be really cool. The Aztecs do field the best monks in the game, so yeah, it's pretty fearsome sight to behold, an Aztec monk rush. He isn't going for the extra town centre though, which I find really strange, unless he's... I would choose an extra town centre over a monastery, so I'm not sure why he didn't save that wood for an extra town centre rather than use it for a monastery, unless he's going for relics right now, which is kind of worthwhile, but at the same time it will take a while to pay off, and Viper does have 3 town centres up, and he's gathering stones, so he could even put more town centres up. This is a bit of a lull in the game. Viper is trying to use his fearsome micro to make the most of these crossbows, and it is working pretty well actually. Yeah, did you just see all of those spears that he missed? What Zelfire has done quite well is he split up his forces, and but his forces are firing at different points, so it does make it a lot harder to micro. So they are taking damage little bit by little bit. Viper's score has just rocketed up again. I'm not sure why. I think it's just that boom is catching up with him now. His score might have dropped. Yeah, I know he's put up another town centre, so his score might have dropped because he started putting a lot of resources into his economy. At the same time, he is keeping Zelfire on his toes. Zelfire has accumulated a lot of crossbows, but without booming, he's not going to be able to pump out as many as he was able to. Although Zelfire has just put up, he's got a university up and he's got a monastery up, so that makes me think he's aiming for imperial. An imperial 1 town centre play is quite uncommon. Sometimes you get it in arena, but even then it's a fast imperial, and this isn't really going to be a fast imperial. Yeah, if you get to imperial by around 45 minutes, that's your kind of normal imperial time, but this is going to be quite an average imperial time, so it's quite weird to see someone try and go for imperial without the without making it a fast imperial. Crossbows are moving out for Zelfire, and a villager is going forward, so whether that's going to be this is really weird. I don't know if you guys can see this, it must be a glitch. Yeah, no. The computer just glitched out and it showed Zelfire's line of sight as being Vipers, which is kind of weird, but it's gone back to normal now. The Forward Siege Workshop is coming up. for Zelfire, and he has hit the Imperial age, so he is going to be up soon. What is the Viper doing? The Viper hasn't gone Imperial yet, and he's got a lot of gold actually. Why is it still keeps on glitching out? It's really annoying. He seems to be just going crossbows. I'm not sure why he's gone crossbow rather than cavalry archer really, because Mongol cavalry archers do fire a lot faster than any other cavalry archers, and it really does add up. Like 6 Mongol cavalry archers would decimate 6 crossbows. Even if it was 6 Hunnic cavalry archers, they would decimate the crossbows, but with the cavalry archers firing faster, the Mongol cavalry archers are very fearsome. The Viper's crossbowmen did just get decimated by the superior forces of Zelfire over here. At this point it does look like they are fully upgraded. I'm guessing they've got ballistics, which is why the Viper's micro isn't working quite as well as it was. I'm guessing that's a manga now. I would doubt it would be a ram this early in the game. Oh, it is rams. Okay, he's thinking of ending this. He is about to hit Imperial, and maybe with the tech advantage he might be able to push back the Viper and win the game. The thing is, Viper's economy is incredibly good at this point. I mean, if I was Viper I would be pretty worried, but about Zelfire, as he has a lot of crossbows and he's just advanced to Imperial with the arbalest upgrade, he should be pretty fearsome. One sec, I'll just switch to Zelfire. So the crossbows are coming in. I assume he's got the arbalest upgrade somewhere. Nope, no arbalest upgrade. Yeah, he's getting Bracer though, and he's probably getting Chemistry as well, yeah. So he is upgrading his crossbows. He, with Bracer, he's already got a tech advantage, and when he gets Arbalest, that tech advantage will be huge. The 2 battering rams are starting to tear down Viper's buildings. Why he's going for a house rather than focusing both on the stable is interesting. Maybe it's just to allow better access to the town centre to then take it down. The thing is, Viper has had to garrison one town centre over here, but at this point he's got, okay, so he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's got 5 town centres and 2 castles. This area is going to be pretty much unharassable by Zelfire. Even with the battering rams, the Mangadai, which Viper is now producing, will be that much, will get a bonus against them. And Arbalest, unfortunately, do not outrange castles, so it is going to be quite a hard battle for Zelfire. I think as soon as Viper starts pushing his military with his economy, he'll be able to really start to make a difference. Viper is on his way up to the Imperial Age, and he has lost a fair amount of his economy. Like, this whole area is pretty much unusable at the moment, but it's not that big a deal, just because Viper has so much, such a big economy everywhere else. Another castle is coming up over here, so those Mangadai are gonna start being pushed out left, right, and centre. I haven't seen a university. Yeah, okay, there is a university over here, so we can assume that Viper does have ballistics. He's probably also going to be going to have the armor upgrades and stuff, and he'll probably get Chemistry as soon as he gets goes to the Imperial Age. This is kind of awkward. There's a castle going up, and Zelfire is probably going to kill off most of these villagers. Fortunately, it is right next to another castle, so it does have a bit of protection. At the same time, Zelfire can't really afford to lose too many of his arbalest because he simply doesn't have the economy to back to keep on producing, so he really needs to make the most of every unit. Yeah, no, Zelfire has 151 stone, so he can put up another town centre, but he's choosing not to, and I'm not sure whether that's because he wants the wood to go into Arbalest or whatnot. He isn't. Oh, why isn't it on Zelfire's? Oh. Sorry, it just showed me Viper's stats for Zelfire, which is really annoying. I'm not sure why that's happening. But the Viper has just gone to the Imperial Age, so we can assume he is getting Elite Mangudai, we can assume he's getting Chemistry, we can assume he's getting Bracer. Yeah, things are looking pretty good for the Viper at the moment. I think he has Bloodline on his Mangudai actually. I'm not sure what Mangudai stats are straight off the top of my head, but I know what Cavalry Archers stats are, and Cavalry Archers and Mangudai are fairly similar in stats. I mean, obviously Mangudai are better, but Cavalry Archers, I think they only have 10 less HP than Mangudai do. So, yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, Zelfire has gotten the Cap Ram upgrade, and Aztecs do have fairly formidable siege. If you've ever played Aztecs on Black Forest, you will know that Aztecs have great siege. I don't think they get Heavy Scorpion, but they do get Siege Ram and Siege Onager, and Siege Onagers are beautiful. They don't really have, when you compare their siege to the Mongol siege, it's not really much to be that proud of, but it is very good siege if compared to other civilizations. Obviously the Mongols, being a siege civilization, do have better siege overall. This is really interesting now, because the Viper does have a score lead, but I have a feeling that once these 2 town centers are down, yeah, that score lead is gonna go in favour of Zelfire. The Viper has lost 3 town centers so far, but at the same time he's got 1 town center over here. Yeah, he's putting up another town centre over here and another one over there, so he's still going to be able to keep on pumping out villagers compared to Zelfire. He only has that 1 town centre. He's still producing villagers, but quite a few of them are idle, and Zelfire simply doesn't appear to be making more town centres. He is taking a stone now, so he can put up extra town centres, but things just aren't looking good for him. The Mangudai look like they're almost fully upgraded. All we're missing now is the Elite Mangudai upgrade, which is a beautiful upgrade. I love Elite Mangudai. They're probably one of the best units on the game. At this point, Viper just really needs to bide his time. The longer this game goes on, the more it's going to be in Viper's favour. I'm just impressed that Zelfire has been able to keep up with this whilst he hadn't been booming. More barracks are coming up, so we can tell Zelfire wants to end this. Zelfire wants to go for the old Aztec Elite Eagle Warrior push, which is pretty deadly. No, yeah, Eagle Warriors, well, fully upgraded Eagle Warriors are arguably one of the best grading units in the game. Obviously Paladins are better, and I think Huskarls are better as well, but Elite Eagle Warriors are pretty awesome. Yeah, not too much to say about that. But yeah, and plus Elite Eagle Warriors, they're not exactly cheap, but they're cheaper than Paladins, so that's always nice. And plus they have such a high pierce armor that these Mangudai really aren't going to be able to do too much. Plus they have a bonus against cavalry, I think, so the Mangudai will die off quite quickly when confronted with Elite Eagle Warriors. Let's see. No production of Elite Eagle Warriors just yet. He's probably saving food for the upgrades and whatnot. Blacksmith. Okay, blacksmith over here, and a lot of villagers are moving forward, and there's a forward castle over here, so we can guess he's going for trebuchets. This is actually turning out to be a really good game. I'm just going to check the stream. Okay, 16 people watching, which is lovely. I still can't see what you're saying, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, back to the game. Viper is sending villagers out over here. Whether he's going to put down a couple of stables or whether he's putting down a town centre, I think he's going down for a town centre, because you don't really send this amount of villagers to put like a load of stables. Oh, he's going for a mining camp just over here, so that's nice. The villagers are about to come in. Zelfire is sending forward skirmishes. I think these are skirmishes he's had pretty much since the early castle age from Viper's early harass. So that's quite interesting. Zelfire did delete his castle. He is putting it very close to the Viper's economy, so that's going to be really interesting. Elite skirmishes are a pretty decent unit to counter Mangudai with. I don't think it'll work too well against Viper, just because Viper has such good micro. you know, the Viper's micro is so good that he can just kind of dodge the javelins quite easily. Although they do have ballistic, so it's not as easy as it would be. But I still have quite a lot of faith in the Viper's microing ability. But yeah, no, really tip of the hat to Zelfire for giving us such a great game. I'm still surprised that Zelfire's score is so high, considering that his eco is much smaller than Viper's. I'm not sure how many villagers he has compared to Viper, but he's only got one town centre, so it's really impressive that he's managed to keep it this big. And Elite Eagle Warriors are coming out. He's got the first defensive upgrade, and I'm sure he's getting the others right now at the blacksmith. Yeah, he's getting chainmail armor, and then he'll need scale barding armor, I think is the last one. Is it? Or is it chain barding? I can't remember. Yeah, but anyway, so he is really piling on the pressure onto the Viper, and once the Viper sees these elite eagles, he's gonna know that he's got to change to, I don't know, maybe hussars would do quite well. Mongols do get great hussars. This town centre has just become, I can't remember what word I'm trying to say. Kind of derelict, I guess. It's just sitting there, not really doing much. It's still producing villagers, so really well played, Viper. He's still mastering his economy on top of all of this. I love how pretty much all of Viper's town centres, well, I say all of them, 2 of them are just up in flames. Just shows how well Zelfire has played this. Viper is starting to get a score lead, so that might be his economy kicking in. At the same time, Zelfire has pretty much got he's got a lot of Eagle Warriors. He hasn't got the final blacksmith upgrade yet, so I would think he's getting one soon. However, Viper does know. Yeah, he has seen the Eagle Warriors, so he does know that he's got to. If Zelfire manages to get enough of them, he is going to have to change the hussars or champions or something. However, he's only put at 1 stable, which makes me think he might have just got it to get husbandry or something. Husbandry is actually a very worthwhile getting upgrade. It doesn't seem like it's that good, but I definitely say get it in the late game when you have enough food for it. Viper doesn't have chemistry, which is pretty bad. At the same time, it doesn't really matter that much because Mangadai are a lot better than Arbalest. They are elite Mangadai at this point, so they are pretty well upgraded. I don't think he has the final armor upgrades for his Mangadai actually, so that's interesting. The Elite Eagle Warriors are almost fully upgraded. They don't have the Aztec's Elite Attack, and they don't have the plus extra attack. Zelfire is using them as a bit of a meat shield at this point, and this conflict over here could very well decide the rest of the game. If Viper loses all his Mangadai, I would think it's not exactly GG, but fairly close to GG. Whilst if Zelfire loses this force, then it would pretty much be GG. The main reason I say that is because he simply doesn't have the eco to mass produce extra forces and whatnot. He is still producing Arbalest, which is kind of cool. And he is making town centers over here, and he has put up a castle over here as well. So he is still, his economy is getting back in shape. But at this point, the Viper does have a 1,000-point score lead, even with this kind of half of his eco being completely destroyed. The Viper is still very much in the game, and that just really goes to show how good a player the Viper is. The Viper is going to try and kill off these Arbalest over here. Zelfire is still trying to use the Eagles as a kind of meat shield, but the thing is, Eagles do work really well as a meat shield, but once your opponent has reached the kind of critical mass of whatever he's producing, be it Mangadai, be it Cavalry Archers, be it Arbalest, whatever, if you have 40 Mangadai, they are going to one-shot your Eagle Warriors, and Zelfire did just say, good game. Yep, that was a really good game. I'm really impressed with that. Okay, I'm going to stop streaming now, I've got to take screenshots as well, so I'll show you guys the scores, and hopefully I'll be able to sort out the stream, just because I can't see the comments at the moment. Yeah, from what I can see, the stream does look okay, so I'll just show you guys the scores, and then I'll take a bit of a break, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Zelfire had a better military than TheViper did, so that's kind of cool. Obviously, economy is very much in Viper's favour. Technology in Viper's favour. That might just be because the Mongols do have better tech, like more technologies available to them than Zelfire does. Than the Aztecs do. Society, obviously, in Viper's favour because of so many town centres, and Zelfire killed more units than Viper did. That's pretty cool. Zelfire destroyed more buildings. Zelfire had a larger army. That just really shows how the power of a boom, basically. Just the fact that you can, if you get your economy big enough, then you can pretty much survive anything. Obviously, the eco is all in favour of the Viper, but it's pretty impressive how, if you look at Zelfire's gold, is almost the same as the Viper's, although everything else is fairly significantly different. Yeah, no, this is pretty cool. Okay, I've got to just screenshot the all things. Did that work? Yes. Okay, I saved one of the screenshots. Okay, I'm gonna go and have a 5-minute break, and then I will be back. I'm gonna try sorting out the comments for the stream as well, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, guys.